My Soulmate's a Slime by admay 1922, Emperor of the Southwest. Shedding Tree. Monster of all monsters. That is how they describe the Emperor who dared made them their enemy. To think he has the guts to do all of this, he has no heart. Or safe to say, the black-hearted. Ni-san, tell me the name of this Emperor. Rimuru grits his teeth in rage, his body almost trembling, and eyes fixated on the images playing before them. Ah, tell me the name. I will burn that bastard to a crisp. Natsu seconds, his dragon force activating, surprising his companions. Natsu's ultimate dragon's force could only be activated when he really is in the state of extreme rage. No one could blame them though, as they were on the same page as them. What they are seeing is beyond cruel. Taking in deep breaths, Maeva calmed herself down before hugging Rimuru and comforting him gently. Love, your aura. Tone it down or you'll hurt everyone in the city, she whispers soothingly, rubbing his arms. Ah. I apologize. Rimuru could barely keep his tone down as he brought out his concealing mask and put it on, sucking back his aura in. Natsu. Sorry. Zaref's warning tone was enough to awaken his brother from the abyss of rage he had jumped in. I know what all of you are feeling right now, but we need to talk about this calmly and discuss the appropriate countermeasures. Am I understood? Zaref commands. No one answered him, but that was enough for him. We will take this Emperor down, but not now. We needed to plan this thoroughly and strike at the right time. Mavis took over, standing up and changing the images to the magic circle in the forest of Jura. The magic circle that is used to summon children from other worlds from ages 5 to 7 years old. Those children then are experimented, dissected, maltreated until they would become the perfect toy or soldier for that emperor. Those who can't make it are simply thrown away to be food for animals. If they are fortunate, they got cremated or buried. Every tear, every heartache, every pain of those children they have seen on the screen ripped their hearts to pieces. Children. He takes the innocent children and simply play with them. Unforgivable. Now, we all know what this magic circle is all about. The writings say, power is mine. I am superior. As to why it appeared in the forest of Jura is because the Emperor planned to make it his summoning area, believing he could take down Tempest easily. Mavis continued to explain when she was sure everyone had calmed down. In other words, he attacked Tempest using the sirens and those meteors with that belief that it would be enough to wipe them all out. Gray analyzes and Mavis nodded. What a coward way to fight. Urza mumbles, her fist still clenched. I know. He could have come face us directly if he really has the guts. Sue agrees, his expression still dark. Could be cowardly, but it was more than enough to have killed every one of you. If not for your fast actions. Tempest is no more so's with our neighboring kingdoms. Sirens aside, that meteor is the biggest threat yet. I almost lost all of you, again. I almost lost my woman. Had that happened, believe me, I would have bathed his realm in blood. Rimuru's words sent shivers down their spine. His icy tone is full of menace and rage that it scared some of them, to be honest. I was staying silent. But I have the same intention as Rimuru-sama. If I had lost Tempest, if I had lost Maya, I'd be the first one to search this Emperor of the Southwest and torture him till I am satisfied, Noir states, his eyes staring daggers at the screen. No one spoke for a while. It may have been scary, but it assured them once more that their Emperor and High Prince would do anything to protect and make sure they're safe. Maya silently stood up and walked closer to her soulmate, hugged him from behind as he was seated down, her embrace bringing comfort to her man. I am here, Noir. We are all here. We are fine, Don't let your anger cloud your judgment. It's fine. Her assuring words tamed down the leaking aura of Noir, who closed his eyes and leaned on her touch. We have a plan, but we need your final consent, Rimuru. If you agree with this plan, we'll execute it right away. Zaref passed the book to Rimuru. I have recorded what I have seen on my research. I figured it could be of use for future battles as well. Since this is attracted to places with high magical powers, he aims to bring them down first so no one could stop him to vanquish everything and stand on top. That is why he tried attacking Fairy Tail but backed out when he sensed my wife's fairy heart could counter him. They were shocked at that claim. As if a boulder rolled off their shoulders the moment they heard there is hope. The fairy heart spell could really bring him down, Nei-chan? Rimuru questions, his eyes now wide in anticipation. Yes, it can, Rimuru. However, there's a dire consequence to it. You see, my spell is so strong that once released, it could wipe out an entire continent's magical powers. This emperor backed out as he can't afford to lose his powers. Though he can command anyone to do his bidding, Fairy Heart is too much for him. If by chance he had attacked Fairy Tail and Fairy Heart's released, the entire of Ishgal, our continent will lose all magical powers. That'd be the consequence we have to pay, Lucy explains. All of the Fairy Tail members knows of this one, so Fairy Heart is actually a sealed spell, and only a small portion of it is being used. So, what does this have to do with Rimuru-sama, then? Hakuro Kiri's next, quite confused at the situation. 'Cause I believe, with Rimuru's power, he can control and use Fairy Heart without having to risk the consequences. Another shock. Before Shion lifted her head high with a smug smile. Of course. Rimuru-sama is the strongest I have ever seen. Surely, he can control the Fairy Heart. Oi, Shion, Benimaru attempted to stop her, but the secretary simply ignored him. Why not? I mean, he basically has the Fairy Heart in him now thanks to Emperor Zareth. And that was used to strengthen and bring back our Empress. Shion defends herself. Huh? I have? Rimuru couldn't believe it. Sure, he received that Fairy Heart, but he used it all on Maeva. His hand reached for his tea after taking off his mask as he waited for Mavis's answer. Only it was Raphael who raised her voice on the matter. Answer. Master indeed has acquired the Fairy Heart spell thanks to the usage of your body as a vessel. However, it is not yet enough to make it an ultimate skill due to its small amount. If Master absorbs the required amount, then we could evolve it into another one of your ultimate skills. Phew. Hearing that, Rimuru couldn't help it and spat his drink right at Maeva's face. Wendy and Maya gasped at that. The others were surprised and confused as well as to why he had such reactions. Isn't he just asking a doubtful question a while ago? I did not see that coming. What happened, Rimuru-sama? Are you all right? Riggered questions in concern, seeing his master's face turning red, who was now apologizing to his wife as he dries her face. Nicely done. Raphael's sarcastic voice rung in his mind and Rimuru scowled at her. This is all your fault, for surprising me like that. Hemp. He's fine. I'd rather see him like this than have his aura and anger scare everyone. Maeva answered for the Tempest Emperor, having heard Raphael's answer as well. Oh good. You even gave me a scare in there, but seriously, what happened? Maya passed Rimuru another cup of tea. I just got my answer. Through my analysis, I just found out that I indeed have acquired the Fairy Heart when I thought I have passed it all to my wife. Rimuru finally answers after Maeva assured him she was fine. Figured. With your abilities I don't believe it won't stay with you as well, even if you'd claim you had used it all on Maeva. Natsu tell him with a convinced nod. Hakuro chuckled. Why are you even surprised, Rimuru-sama? Whatever power you consume, it stays within you. Rimuru was done with all these teasings. Sometimes he wonders who is dense, him or everyone. Of course he knew that, but he really believed he had given it all to Maeva, nothing left in him. But to evolve the fairy's strongest spell into an ultimate skill? He cleared his throat. I indeed have the Fairy Heart, Mavis Ne-chan. However, it's weak. If I were to defeat that crazy emperor with this, I needed more of it, he says straightforwardly, not wanting to beat around the bush. Of course, I'll give it to you. Thank you, Rimuru. It needed to evolve into an ultimate skill to work, right? Rimuru eyes widens once more. How did this fairy tale first master knew? Wait, does this mean Zareth knows of Raphael too? Just as what is happening here. Gone is the day after that meeting that had their patience wore thin and their auras flaring. Rimuru agreed with Mavis's plans, seeing once more, as to why she is called the battle tactician of all time. Trusting her 100%, seeing no reason to not do it. Putting that aside for now, plans for the upcoming festival was resumed and Rimuru had to go out and check everything, making last-minute preparations while they're it. So, Maeva starts looking at all the long list of guests they were expecting to have. Rimuru, can I work for the festival? Her sudden question took the Emperor aback, blinking at her in confusion and wondering what's running on in her mind. What? Love, what kind of joke is that? You'll be standing by my side all the time. You are my wife and empress now, he say in disbelief. Yes, but at least for the first day. You know, I graduated in hospitality management and I quite missed serving guests. If not in the kitchen, Then at least an usher? Now, that is a surprise. You never told me you have a degree in hospitality management. Oh, believe me, my dear hubby, there's still otherworlder things you don't know about me and my sister. Let me guess, you've won Miss Universe? Maeva raised an eyebrow.
How do you know, wifey? I have seen your memories, remember. And of course, I knew you have a degree in hospitality management. I just played with you to see if I can fool you a bit. Seems like you are the one who don't quite know me yet, love. The Empress was left dumbfounded at that. This guy.
And why in the world had she forgotten he had seen most of her memories? Frowning, her feet raised to kick him, but he simply sidestepped, wrapped an arm around her waist and pecked her lips.
I love you, dear. Come on. I heard they are serving your favorite seafoods today. We should talk more about the guests arriving and see whether or not I'll have the heart to let you usher them. And stop pouting, will you? You are getting cuter. My heart can't handle it.
And once again, Maeva was left speechless as her husband led her to one of Tempest's restaurant. Entering the said establishment, they saw another pair seemingly waiting for them. Hey there, are we late? Rimuru asks, pulling a chair and letting Maeva sit down first before he sat down beside her. Nope. Just in time. Maya chirps just as the food arrived. Rimuru-sama, all of the guests we have invited have confirmed their arrival. We have more guests this year as I see it, reported Noir in the middle of their dinner. Yup. Good thing we had built another guest house, or else we'd be grappling on where we can accommodate them all, the slime replies excitedly. Why? More guests, more profits. Raphael smacked Rimuru before his train of thoughts could even escalate, making him frown. Geez, can't a man have a little imagination? Why can't we just build them a hotel though? I can easily do that with the gemstone of earth, Maeva suggested before eating the shrimp that her husband peeled for her. No, Noir and the Emperor say at the same time, surprising the sisters. Wow, what's with the synchronization? Maya queries curiously. For her, her sister's suggestion is a nice touch and would help in the nation's economy, so what's their deal? It's not that we don't want it, it's just that, your gemstones had increased in power and these troublesome guests would surely detect the magic usage and won't leave us alone. More exposure of the gemstones, the more risk of them getting in danger. We couldn't say all of those attending are actually allies and friends. Some have come to observe and will research in our country, a weakness to use against us, Rimuru quickly explained, not wanting his wife to feel bad. Oh, I see what you mean. I didn't think this through, Maeva sighs resignedly. This happened before, didn't it? High Princess Maya guessed, and seeing their reactions gave her the answer she needed. Yup. And it seems things happened more than just simple fighting, and that is one downside of ruling.